Well, good afternoon and happy Valentine's Day. I'm Meteorologist Bailey Braun, and we have a lot to cover in terms of winter weather that is impacting a lot of the state, including western Alaska all the way to the interior, and we even saw a little bit of that in south central today as well. So I'll be taking you through everything that you can expect. Now, I wanted to start off talking about our winter weather alerts. Now, starting off with our blizzard warning, this is going to impact the Kuskokwim and YK Delta. This is mostly for that blowing snow paired with these strong wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, not 60, 40 miles per hour, and with that snow that's already on the ground. But this winter storm warning is what we'll be focusing on for a lot today, mostly from western Alaska and the Norton Sound region all the way to the interior. Now, for the Norton Sound area, this winter storm warning may have already expired. Parts of this area were likely to see this warning expire by 6 p.m. tonight, and others will see it lasting through 9 p.m. tonight. But for the interior, this warning will last all the way through tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Now, this winter weather advisory is for Bristol Bay. This is mostly going to be for Monday into Tuesday, so that's still a little bit far out in our forecast, but this is where lighter snow accumulations are likely with 1 to 3 inches expected. And of course, for Juneau, Southeast is not missing out on this wintry action. We are looking ahead to this high wind watch for Juneau for Monday with those gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Now, as we look ahead, here's what these winter weather alerts are looking like on our map right now. It looks like they haven't really expired for parts of Norton Sound, which they were supposed to, so that's something to take into consideration. But you'll notice that that winter storm warning is stretching all the way from the Seward Peninsula all the way into the interior and for Fairbanks. Now, if you look on the radar, if you catch it, you may see that burst of purple blotting the interior region. That is that heavy snowfall that you've seen today. And if you are in the interior or even out west, please tell me how much snow you've gotten or how much snow you've seen or other kind of impacts you've experienced through the day. I know today in South Central we did have a winter weather advisory issued from Matsu into Anchorage, where we saw a couple of inches of snow accumulating, but nothing like what the interior is facing for today. And these impacts for the interior are also going to linger into tomorrow. You notice that by Sunday morning, you'll get another quick burst of some of that snow stretching across the region. Snow totals are likely to increase another 2 to 4 inches for Sunday's accumulation, but total snow amounts could range from 8 inches to 10 inches, and even some areas from the more western interior areas from Nenana, more west, this is where you may see up to 12 inches of snow accumulation by Sunday night. Now, I also want to focus on these interior impacts. These are mostly for tonight and into tomorrow, but western Alaska, you're about to see an increase in more of the snow and wind as well. This next storm will approach by Monday morning, and that's something we're really going to focus on for tomorrow's broadcast as well. So you'll notice it's stretching all the way from west Alaska, including the Alaska Peninsula, and this is going to wreak havoc all across western Alaska, even hitting parts of Norton Sound yet again. I know that in Nome it was pretty windy. You've had a lot of snow accumulation, especially into areas like Gamble, and you're only going to get more of it, especially as Monday and Tuesday approach, but you'll notice that this storm will dissipate as it approaches the interior. So while you may catch a few stray bands of this moisture stretching into the interior, it's not really going to add anything more than what you will have already experienced by Sunday night. I wanted to point out the snow total map for Sunday morning. You're going to notice a couple of inches accumulating from McGrath into Fairbanks and even for Nome, but it's going to increase even more for Fairbanks. You'll see it popped from about 1 inch to close to 5 inches for Fairbanks from just that Sunday's accumulation, so we'll keep tracking that. But then you may have seen that darker blue start to roll in from the west, all the way from Gamble into Bethel. That's where that next storm is going to roll in, and that's going to bring even higher snow accumulations. Now, right now, I'll take it for the camera so I can talk to you face to face. Right now, we're looking at some of these snow models that are across Nome and other parts of western Alaska, but for Nome specifically, computer models are charting up to 12 inches of snow accumulation from Monday night into Tuesday. Now, that sounds like a lot, and of course that is a lot, but these computer models tend to change quite a bit. I just wanted to give you a heads up that that's what these computer models, most of them, are agreeing on right now, so you could see quite a bit of snow by Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday, that's really the next impactful storm that we're paying attention to, because this past one already made landfall from Friday into this morning, but we're going to see it quiet down just a little bit for the west into Sunday, but then it's going to pick back up for Monday and into Tuesday. So that's really what we're paying attention to. And again, that is going to roll in mostly for the west, impacting that region. Now for southeast Alaska, I know I haven't talked about you too much today. You're mostly going to see this rain continuing into Sunday, and it's not really going to last for the rest of this work week. That snowy and rainy mixture is going to move in the overnight hours, where temperatures tend to drop below freezing all the way from Juneau and into Yakutat, but not so much for areas like Sitka and Ketchikan, but other areas across the region where these temperatures are dropping below freezing. That's where the snow is expected, but then that's going to transition into freezing rain as well as into that rain as these high temperatures get back up into the mid-30s. But again, that's just for Sunday. For Monday and the rest of this week, all across the region, you're going to dry up significantly, getting some partly cloudy and even mostly sunny skies. So that shift is going to be great, especially since it's been kind of rainy and drizzly lately. But we do have a high wind watch that we're going to pay attention to. I mentioned that during that first graphic that I showed. But that high wind watch is for Juneau. That's going to be in effect from Sunday night all the way through Monday night. So be ready for gusts to get up to 60 miles per hour and normal wind speeds, sustained winds up to 20 and even 30 miles per hour, but that's just for Juneau as of this moment. Now for the interior, still expecting more snow into tomorrow. Like I said, another 2 to 4 inches. You could see another 5 inches if you're in Nenana or more westward into Tanana. So that's what we're really expecting, but these overnight lows dropping below zero, but your high temperatures are back up into double digits. You're going to see a slight cool down from Sunday into Monday. That's when those temperatures are really going to drop though. But for the North Slope, you're staying relatively dry and quiet. Now these overnight lows are your biggest concern. Temperatures are closer to 20 and 25 degrees below zero, but that wind chill is going to make it feel a little bit more like -40 and -50 degrees. So of course, as always, be sure to take precautions anytime you're working outside for an extended amount of time. Western Alaska, as I mentioned, is really going to be an area we're focusing on for tomorrow's forecast and broadcast. You can already see that with quite a few different warnings that have been issued. Most of these, including that red blizzard warning right behind Nome, including this winter storm watch highlighted in blue by McGrath. This is mostly going to be in effect for Monday into Tuesday, so it's not quite in effect yet, but it is showing up on the map just to show you what you need to expect. So brace for more of this snow by Monday. Tomorrow in the morning, especially for Nome and Unalakleet, you may see more of that snow begin to roll in, especially for the morning hours, but it will start to taper off into the afternoon. You may not see very much snow, between maybe 1 to 3 inches at most, but then it'll dry off, and then that's when you'll see that transition to more heavier snow by Monday night into Tuesday, which is really what you need to pay attention to yet again. Now for the Aleutians, you're staying relatively calm. It's mostly sunny skies from Dillingham to Cold Bay, mostly along the Alaska Peninsula. But as you get more out west for the Aleutian Islands, especially to Atka, Adak, and Shemya, that's where more of these wind gusts are lingering, gusts up to 40 and 45 miles per hour, and that's where that rain is as well. But you'll notice that mostly cloudy skies in the more central islands, and then much sunnier as you approach the Alaska Peninsula. You're going to get a lot more rain and even possibly some snow if temperatures allow by Monday as that next storm approaches. That could impact you as well. So just be ready for that and keep that on your radar. But tomorrow is going to be relatively quiet and calm, especially along the Alaska Peninsula. Now into South Central, you noticed quite the shift from these completely snow-covered roads into mostly sunny skies for tomorrow. That's across the Kenai Peninsula. Temperatures into the mid-20s up into the mid-30s if you're in Kodiak, and even into the Copper River Basin you're going to dry up quite a bit. Your only concern is going to be these stronger wind gusts up to 30 and 45 miles per hour, which aren't super convenient, but they're not terrible wind speeds. But up into the Matsu Valley, we did have a winter weather advisory underway. That has since expired. It just expired about 45 minutes ago. That was for more of the freezing rain and snow impacts on these roads. but I want you to know, especially if you have yet to go out to dinner tonight, or if you're going out tonight or even into the morning, those roads are going to be very, very slick. So please use caution and just be aware of that. Keep that on your mind as you head out the door tonight or even tomorrow morning. But you'll notice just mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies compared to, again, lots of that snow that we saw today. So high temperatures for Anchorage tomorrow going to be about 24 degrees. And as we look ahead into the work week, we're going to have a slight cool down by Monday and Tuesday, which isn't super significant, but that's about 5 degrees cooler than what our average temperature is this time of year. But mostly sunny skies as we start the work week and fairly dry through the rest of our 7-day. Now for Fairbanks, again, that snow is what you're going to expect for tomorrow. More of it for Sunday. You're going to dry off just a little bit Monday, and those temperatures are dropping, especially for that high on Monday. Going from 17 degrees to -8 degrees is quite the transition. Should just brace for those colder temperatures that are heading your way. That's going to impact you with some light snow chances expected for Wednesday and into Thursday. But for Juneau, I mentioned it earlier, you really just have to worry about that wet weather for Sunday, and then you're in the clear for the rest of this week. Mostly sunny skies are ahead, with these temperatures slowly dropping just a little bit more. These are much cooler than what you've been dealing with the last week or two, so just brace for these colder temperatures, and sunnier skies are on the way, as I mentioned. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting week of weather. It always is, especially in western Alaska, where you get some crazy storms, especially that wintry action, and even into the interior. It's been kind of a quiet break for you, but now that snow is beginning to return, and you saw that today. So just be ready for more of that snow to continue if you're in the interior for Sunday. And western Alaska, I'll have more for you on what you can expect as we get into tomorrow and what you can expect for Monday and Tuesday. Now, of course, for the rest of your night, hope you have a great Valentine's Day and a great rest of your night, and I'll let you view our camera out in Eagle River. And obviously you can't really see much with all the snow that we got today, but just be safe on the roads as you head out tonight and tomorrow.